Hi students and parents, Namaskar, welcome to Career 360. Today we're going to discuss a B school that I think every student who wants to do an MBA should know of. It's a very good option. It's an option that is in the public institution space and it's been delivering very consistently over the past many years. A lot of you would want to get into an IIM, but do you know that some of the B schools, in public B schools, in government institutions are far better than many of the IIMs that you're talking about. The B school that we're going to talk today is in IIT Delhi. You should know that there are about 7 IITs in India which also offer an MBA course. And one of them is in IIT Delhi. The B school, which is called the DOMS, Department of Management Studies, which is housed in IIT Delhi, has been delivering so well that the Government of India ranking for all the B schools that are there in the country ranks this particular B school, DOMS in IIT Delhi, as a number 4th best B school in the country. I'm not saying that actually it rates to be number 4 because it also rates IIM Calcutta or below that. But having said that, there has to be something for it to be ranking up there. And in my opinion, come what may, whatever ranking is, it will possibly figure in the top 10 B schools in the country. Let me explain to you with data of why it ranks so high and why it must be a part of your consideration set if you are trying to get into any of the MBA courses in the country. So DOMS Delhi is established in 1997. It's a part of IIT Delhi, as you said, right? And it is called DOMS, which is Department of Management Studies. 27 years it's been around. And it's ranked 4th best B school in the country by the Government of India NIRF ranking. We ourselves as Career 360 rank it as 9th best. Because in this particular ranking, you also have IIM Calcutta, Trichy and Indore coming much below. In my opinion, they deserve a better ranking than that. So any which case, it's in the top 10. We'll look at it from that perspective. The total students in the school are 243, which means the intake is between 120 and 145 kind of a thing. Of which 86% students come from outside the state of Delhi. About 14% come from the state of Delhi, right? About 5 international students also are there. And has a very decent faculty strength of 229, which means the faculty-student ratio is less than 1:10, which again is very good. Now, what I'm showing to you right now is the document that they filed with the National Institutional Ranking Framework, which is run by the Ministry of Education, Government of India. If you look at this very carefully, the intake for DOMS Delhi is 144. 144 is the intake, right? And that's a filing. And of the total 144, students, and in all, obviously 2 years batches would be there. The total students of 243 that were there in this particular year, 162 were boys and 81 are girls, which means about 1/3 are girls and about 2/3 are boys, right? And most students come from outside the state because it's very competitive. And the more the competitive the B school is, you will actually have a greater diversity on the campus. Now, if you start looking at the kind of placement data that they have, in the year 22-23, of the 124 students who passed out, who cleared and graduated, all the 124 were placed, right? At a median salary of 24.45 lakh. Now, when you actually have a 100% placement strike rate, and that would about 24.5 lakh kind of salary, it obviously means that very good employers are coming in and every student is performing so well that, they're actually able to demand that kind of a median salary. Right. Now, if you look at it over the past 3 years also, DOMS area has been consistently increasing its median salary. The placement always has been 100%. You look at 2021 or 21-22 or 22-23. Placement always has been 100%. But the median salary has grown from 16.2 lakh to 20 lakh to 24 lakhs. So, in 2 years flat, the median salary is increased by 50%. Which means obviously the best companies are coming in and the students are very much in demand. But every single time they place 100% of the students. The CTC Offered also seems to be going up very well, right? The highest CT is 41.13 lakh. The mean CTC Offered is 25.82. Even for freshers, mean CTC is about 24 lakh rupees. And the median salary is about 24.45 lakh rupees, right? So very clearly there seems to be something that's working, that the students, even freshers, are getting those kind of salaries here. Now, the kind of job offerings that are made to these students, you will actually see, because it's housed in IIT Delhi, you will actually see a lot of tech companies, startups and all coming in and recruiting. So you actually have about 25% students going for ID and analytics. You have about 17% coming for strategy and consulting. You have about 11.5% coming for supply chain and operations. So if you look at it very closely, about 60% students are going for something which is largely related to tech and all. And of course, you have sales and marketing and finance and general management and HR also, right? But you'll actually see a leaning towards, IT analytics and all, which in the case of IIMs, you would actually see them largely dealing with investment banking, finance and those kind of roles. Now, obviously, some of the best companies come in. This is a screenshot of what IIT Delhi itself claims. Other kind of companies that come in, which include Wipro, ICICI Bank, Amazon, you see Accenture, Tata Steel, HCL. So you have some of the big companies coming in. But we thought we'll take it to the next level of trying to understand where the students at DOMS at IIT Delhi, where are they currently placed? And for this now, we source the data of LinkedIn to understand how many students who studied here are on LinkedIn and what exactly are they doing, which companies are they working on, where are they staying, and what kind of roles that they're performing. When we looked at that data, there is third-party data, mind you, because students don't rely on LinkedIn. When we looked at that data, we actually found about 1,725 alumni who studied at DOMS at IIT Delhi to be present on LinkedIn. Mind you, the kind of intake that they had initially was very, very low. So even as we speak now, about the intake is about 144. So they almost have all the kind of alumni that are there, possibly present on LinkedIn. You actually see that if you look at students who are right now working and where they're working, you will see that 24 students are working in Wipro, 14 are working in Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, Axtria Engineers Insights, about 15 of them, which is a research company possibly. EXL is 14 people, which is a tech company. Overall, if you look at it over the period of time, about 97 had worked at Wipro at some point in time, ICICI 51, and so on and so forth. So very clearly, these companies seem to be coming for placement, that they had so many people working there at some point in time, and so many continue to be working there even at this point in time. And we also looked at what are the big companies that come here, the trillion-dollar companies and all. And when we look at that data also, there seems to be a decent number, because about 12 students currently are working in Amazon. 28 worked at Amazon at some point in time, right? And similarly, Microsoft, about 13 worked at some point, 3 are currently working. Google, 9 worked at some point in time, 2 are currently working. So very clearly, you have a set of companies which are also the MNCs or the big conglomerates which are coming here, taking students for placement, because of which these number of students had worked at some point in time, and this number continue to work at this point in time. Then we talked of, okay, of course, these are 25-year-old institutions, so the students should have gone all over the globe and working somewhere at some point at this point in time. So when we looked at that data also, it very clearly says that the students are very, very mobile, because 93% students work in India, which also means that 7% students work outside of India. Because in Delhi, about 43% students are working. In Haryana, which is Gurgaon, possibly the startup hub, about 10% students are working. Karnataka, in Bangalore, about 7.5% students are working. In Noida, Uttar Pradesh, about 6% students are working. Mumbai, 4.5% students are working. So very clearly, and Hyderabad, about 3-4% students are working. So very clearly, they're working in most of the metros where the big companies are there, the big conglomerates are there, the big startups are there. And these students are spread all over the country and beyond the country also. So with all this data that I showed you, there is one thing that is clear. IIT Delhi DOMS at IIT Delhi seems to be a very, very good option. I'm not saying that if you have IN, ABC, and L and T and all those things, you should not reject them and come here. But it seems to be one of the best options if it's in the top 10 for sure, the way it is working out, at least in the public institution space. It is placing every single student of its. The kind of culture that they have, because it's housed in IIT Delhi, it enables itself to a lot of understanding of the technology side of it also. There is multidisciplinary learning that's possible out here. The kind of companies that are coming here are also largely, about 55-60% of the students seem to be working in startups or tech companies. So they obviously is leaning towards that, right? But more importantly, the kind of work that the institution does, the kind of quality of student that they have, the kind of student outcomes that they have, this becomes one of the very good options for you to be keeping an eye on and applying and hopefully getting into the B school. And that is what we thought we should bring it to you. I hope you like it. If you want me to cover any other video, please comment here and I'll do that. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to keep getting information about the good B schools in the country. And anything that you want us to cover, please feel free and we'll be more than happy to do that. Thank you so much. Namaskar.